Here we go. What's going on, family? It's your boy Trap Vision 3D, man. It ain't nothing changed for 2023. I'm still your favorite nephew. What's happening? What's going on, man? I see we got a gang of people up in here, man. So let me go ahead and address some of these people, man. Some of the greatest people known to the Invicta collecting, the YouTube channel, everybody, man. We got content creators in here. We got Dale. What's going on, brother? We got Yo Joe. We got my big brother Vic. The only one that, man, dude, he got a whole watch. He didn't even make the watch, but he got a watch named after him. Magnum Vic. We got Godfather, aka Mr. Fantastic. Unbox. Yo, what's going on, man? Thank you, sir, for being here. Before we get started, y'all know why y'all here tonight, man. We got somebody that's waiting in the wings right now, one of the greatest men to ever do it, right? And I will have words. We're gonna have a new sponsor. Ooh, the jury lady. She is local here, and we'll talk about that later towards the end of the show. But if you guys, what's going on, DK? I see you, another content creator. If you guys have been waiting for this, I have been waiting for it too, man. The guy that's about to come up, man, and I'm a firm believer in giving flowers when they are due. This man has, not gonna say single-handedly, but dang near single-handedly caused a movement within a community of watch collectors, right? This guy is all over the place and he's easy to look at, right? So we got somebody coming. He's actually waiting right now. So y'all know we have to do it in regular fashion. Anybody that comes to the show, man, we got to do it, right? So let me introduce to you guys the one and only, the infamous Yo, what's going on, baby?
What's up, brother? I love the intro.
Yes, sir,
great.
man. Hey, listen, we had to do it for you, man. We had to do it for you here, man. Welcome on, man, Mr. Ryan Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this. Let me get you right. Hold on. Let's get our cameras right.
All right. Should I switch my camera the other way?
Nope. You good to go.
All right.
I was testing it earlier and I forgot to take it off test mode. So, Mr. Ryan Johnson, RJ, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, my friend. It's good to see you, and it's a pleasure to be on the show here tonight.
Man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I have to say, leading up to this show, I think about the relationship we started some years ago, and I've been digging. I do a lot of research, man, and bro, you've been on the internet for a long time. You date way back.
Yeah, I do.
And for something fun for you guys to look at, if you guys happen to go down in my description, you can follow him on Facebook and Instagram. He has those handles. He has one on you're on Twitter as well, right?
I am. I don't check Twitter. I'll be fair. I don't check it all that often. Every now and then I do, but some people just prefer that, and I push all of my content out there. So
okay, all right. Yeah. And to be fair, here's the deal, because I follow you on Twitter too. I don't get on Twitter as much.
Yeah.
Hardly ever.
Every now and then I do, but for some reason I think maybe things are pushing out to Twitter right now. So I got to double check that. So you just remind me. So I'll check that after the show. Make sure all my content is still pushing out.
Man, okay. So RJ.
Yes.
I said before I want to give flowers where it's due, and we'll get into the Invicta portion of it, but I want to really get into the man who you are, man, and watching you on, at the time was Yvonne.
Yep.
You were on when it was Shop NBC.
Yep.
Right? And you date back, 11 years, maybe?
Yeah, it will be mid-September. It'll be a full 12 years. So I started back in September of 2011. And my first show with Invicta was actually our first remote broadcast. It was down at the Pavilion. It was 2 hours prime time. And back then, we didn't have the technology that we do now for remote broadcasting. It's much more technologically advanced for what you can do for remote. We don't need a satellite truck anymore, not as much crew. We can really do it with, I mean, when we were in Mexico, we had a technical difficulty and we actually used, I think it was my phone to broadcast from one of the cameras with
What?
yeah. So here's the thing: we were on the beach. It was that first night that I was on with Heather, and
Right.
there was something wrong with her microphone and IFB. And then for some reason, one of the cameras wasn't working. Like, because typically we have three cameras. We have a host shot that would be like the two of us. We have a wide shot, which will be like a bigger excuse me, area of the watch, and then a tight shot, which gets in really close. So for some reason, the host shot wasn't working. So I gave AL my camera, and then the Wi-Fi hooked up to his Starlink, and we Skyped into the show. And so AL was actually filming me from the beach to start off this
From your
whole
phone.
remote broadcast in Mexico. And he was like, get the horses to go behind them right now. And so like the horses are like trampling behind us and everything. It was just crazy. And that's actually part of the fun of it. And something I really admire about AL is like, there's like never a no, or you can't do it. There's always a way to figure something out. And I have learned that from being with Invicta. Hi, Mia. With Invicta, and also incorporated into my life, where I just don't like to say, no, we can't do that, or yeah, I give up. I always try to figure something out and how to actually forge through and to complete the task and still meet that expectation and go above and beyond.
Man, dude,
Yeah.
you know what? So being a fan of the brand and watching, you never know what's going on, but the cruise actually gave us an idea of what you guys go through, because people at home don't see, but we're seeing how everything is hooked up. And I was one of those people that was getting
Yeah.
up at like the crack of dawn, looking at them hooking stuff up while taking, drinking a cup of coffee. I see Godfather's in here. Godfather, no, he's out there on the Lido deck with me, watching how stuff comes together, man. You know what's crazy? Of all the years I've been watching, you make it, I know it's not easy, but you make it look flawless. Even with when we did the intro, one of the funniest moments that went viral with you was when you dumped Kendi out of the chair.
Yes. Totally unplanned, but looking back on it and just looking at that video, I knew that shit was going to go wrong. I mean, it was like, you just like look and it just, the physics don't work. You just could see like I was pushing up higher on the chair. Her legs were out pushing, making it less light. And then I don't know, somehow that whole chair scissored and she fell, and then her basically boot almost impaled me. So it was pretty funny.
Dude, that was so funny, man. I recorded that and played it back 100 times. Oh, speaking of which, what you drinking on, sir?
You know what? Actually, I just have some water now. I still have this cold and I have some medicine now. So hopefully I have a 4-hour shift tomorrow. I should be good for that, but I have a little bit of they just gave me something a little in case I have a little bacteria or a little infection in me. And then just like something for my cough for at night and day. So I got 3 meds going on right now. I wish I could have a beer, or I don't know, maybe I will pull out a little bit of Macallan.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll drink for you. I got this cup by sipping with me tonight. I got Armor and Sour. Wifey just fixed it up.
You know what? Here, let me do this. Can I flip my little camera around? How do I do that? I'll show you my little stash.
So it should be in the more section.
The more section. Okay, here we go.
Yep. And then you'll be able to flip your camera around. It'll show you, once you go into more, you'll see all the camera angles, front facing, front, back, and stuff like that.
Oh, here. It just shows camera here. Maybe that's it. Oops.
Camera, that's taking you off the screen.
Okay, so I hit more.
So if you go on more,
comments, stream, settings.
If you go into setting, you can go straight into camera.
Okay.
And
here. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so here, I'll just move over for a second and show my little secret stash. Actually, Carl's going to come over and help me put a dent in it. Let me see, I'm just going to go over here. This is my little top shelf. There's the Maryland Invicta Reserve Club.
Yo.
And just a little stash. So maybe we'll take a little hit of this here tonight, if we do.
You got a nice little stash, sir.
Yeah, only you guys know about it.
You got a nice man. What's going on? Ferrari Kid is in the building. What's up, Scott? I see you guys in there. Hey, I always want to know. Now,
Yeah,
of course, here's the deal. You have been the heartthrob of Invicta. Everybody, every woman, and I'm telling off because I know I've heard you women say it, so don't deny it now. But he's easy to look at. You're like everybody's TV husband, boyfriend, and stuff like that, bro. But you've met Venom Kevin, right?
yes. Yeah, actually, we were going to try to do lunch down in Florida on the last visit, but I just wasn't feeling all that well and
All right.
just wanted to, excuse me, wanted to rest during that time. So, but we usually every other time I go down there, I usually see him and have lunch with him, and we have a beer or two together.
Wifey just walked in. She said, "You're just her TV boyfriend."
Hi, Tamika.
Man, that never gets old.
Mhm. I think one of the questions you wanted to ask me was like, how did I ever get into all of this? And
Yeah, yeah.
it was actually, have I told you the story or not?
No, you haven't told me because I know
Okay.
that you were doing like you were modeling and stuff like that. Because I saw
Yep.
on some of your Facebook posts you were
Yeah.
sitting by the for not Ferrari but the Porsche, and
Yep.
a
Yeah.
you have a number of things like you on magazines and stuff like that. So like, what got
Yes.
you into Invicta?
So here's how it all worked. I worked for a company called Lifetime Fitness, which there's a club in Indianapolis.
Yep, yep, yep.
And so that's actually out of Minnesota. I met the CEO when I was in college, and he said, I want you to come work for me when you're done with college. And so I took him up on it, worked for him for 5 years in real estate. So I was looking at new areas to develop clubs, fly out there, look at the drive time, shop all the competition, put together the business plan for the board of directors, and they'd approve it and put the club together. It's great, great company, but I decided to move on and get into the boating industry, which I have a real big heart for
Mm,
and that I love. And so there was a company in Minneapolis called Genmar, owned a big conglomerate of different boats out there. And so I was in the purchasing department. I just wanted to get in because it was a really cool company. I love the boating aspect of it and everything. A year into it, they sold off three of their companies. And so each department had to lay off one person. And I was one of four in the department. I was a newbie. And it was the right decision to
yeah.
they laid me off. So from then, that was in April. And so I just needed some money. And so I just did my boat cruises that I had done for years and years and years. And I ended up, let's see what happened from there. So what happened is just during the summer, I sent out two photos to a modeling agency just for shits and giggles, never thinking I'd ever, you know, get, anything back. It was called Agency Models in Town. It's a great agency in town. And they said, we have up to 30 days to get back to you. And if we think you're marketable. I got an email back 10 minutes later, and the owner said, hey, you caught me on a good date. Let's talk. And so I met, uh, had some photos taken, and just had a little profile. And I booked a couple gigs right away. And it was fun. It was something different. I never thought it would ever be anything that would lead into a career, but just sort of a side job for something cool and different and a little extra money. And just needed the money. Um, and then Shop NBC at the time was having an audition for models. And I went in, I had a sales job by then. So it was like maybe a year after. And they said, well, when can you work? I said, well, whenever. I'm in sales, I can come whenever. They liked that. And so they said, okay, we'll get you on the schedule. And so that back then, Travis, it was 24/7 live. So
Mm,
they were live 24/7. So I would basically work my day job most days. And then when I go in a couple or few days a week, go to bed at 6 p.m. when I got home, wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning, go into the network, and I would model a couple hours there and make an extra, $50 or something like that. And
right.
and I and I had fun doing it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people there. Met some great friends that I'm still friends with from way back then, and things just started to develop. And I ended up starting to guest after a number of years. Maybe after 4 or 5 years, I started to guest electronics, but it was, in the middle of the night, one time for 8 minutes every 3 weeks. You could never get your mojo. And
Mm.
it was going all right. And I was still able to model, still working my other jobs. And then one day, it was in 2011, I got a phone call from 954, which I knew was South Florida. I just let it go to voicemail. Just like, I'll get it later. Checked it the next day and it was AL.
Mm.
And he said, "Hey, Ryan, I was wondering, because I was doing so many Invicta shows, I was sort of branded already with the company." And he was just, he was still flying up. Michael Davis was working, Jill was working,
Mm.
and he just wanted to focus more on all the different aspects of the business. And he was wondering if I wanted to take a seat behind the table and represent the company. So I called him back the next day. It took us a little bit to just get everything worked out. And that's how everything started. So it was all due to me getting let go from a job, from a layoff, to years later stumbling into this industry and becoming, one of the faces here of this amazing company.
You know, the most interesting thing about that is if you look across YouTube, you see a lot of big time YouTubers talk about what watch companies are on top, the different stuff they've done over the years, and seeing that what Invicta started in 1837,
Yep.
and I ran into a lady when I was working in jury. She does Citizen. She's a representative of Citizen, and she showed me this pamphlet that her dad, like Invicta, was doing like wall clocks, toaster ovens, all kind of stuff. And they were showing me this little pamphlet of Invicta stuff, and you will get it in your local paper. There was nobody like announcing it or talking about it and stuff like that as far as advertisement. And now, fast forward, you literally, as far as history is concerned, dude, like I don't know how many millions of people have purchased Invicta or unlike, let me see, I'll pick one person out the crowd right now. Jay Jones has probably spent, I don't know, a fortune on
Yeah.
Invicta. I think he gets about 15 Invicta pieces a day. Blames it on you. Just like you make it easy for him. But
I'll take the blame. just let AL know.
hey, listen, man. I think that is awesome, man. Like if they ever do a documentary on Invicta, dude, you are a huge part of that. Like you're cemented in, like grandfathered into something that's bigger than like I told AO this before on the cruise. I said, look at all these people that you got out here, man. You can't like really grasp how many lives you affected. He was like, dude, it blows my mind every time I see this. When I
Yeah.
come out there and all these people, they are enthralled in love with this brand, which brings me to this question I've been dying to ask you.
Yeah.
I have a design to watch here.
Yes.
You look familiar?
Yes, it does. I have the
Okay.
same one.
I don't get to do this often. I've done this maybe twice where I get to talk to somebody that's created a watch. What inspired you to do this one like this?
Right. So what it was is, I meet with the watch team at Shop HQ once a quarter or so, and I have another meeting coming up to give my own ideas and then also some suggestions from customers and collectors out there and see if we can implement them. But I had a tungsten piece a long time ago. I actually gave it to somebody. It was tungsten and ceramic. I think it was a limited edition to 400. It's like a 47 millimeter. And that was the only tungsten I ever had. I do have a ceramic timepiece, one of the Mobulas, but I wanted the tungsten because it was just such a cool material. It was just so heavy, scratch resistant, just so dense, and it just felt amazing on the wrist. And I was asking for years, I'm like, can we do something tungsten? I always got pushback and was told, nope, it's too expensive and it's too hard to work with. Too expensive, too hard to work with. Just kept on pushing, pushing, pushing. And then finally, I said, how about this? Let's just go all in. Let's just do it on a classic design of ours, being that 47 Reserve Pro Diver with the 8 screws on the back. Let's put in something totally different that we haven't done for a while. Let's do a sandstone dial, do a meteorite dial, and and let's just go for it. And put an R150. That was it too. We had to put in NH35As are great. That's the majority of the movements I have, but let's put something special inside too. Let's put in the R150, SW200, something like that. And so we did it. And when we launched it, I think we launched it at right around $1,000, and a lot of them sold. But then we started to bring it down just a little bit. Right when we hit that sweet spot of like that $699 or $599, everything just started to fly out. And I've had so many customers that have just told me that they just love the watch. I have one customer, I can't remember his name and I apologize, but he had actually all four.
Mm,
The rose tone and also the gold tone versions, the plated versions,
right.
and the one you have and the meteorite. And it was just that it just feels really good to be able to do that. Merritt and I actually designed a couple different watches a number of years ago, maybe 2016, 2017, that it was called the Midnight Angel. And I don't know if you ever saw that. That was pretty cool too. We had some really cool colors like hot pink on a strap with black, and the dial is black mother of pearl. And they were so it's fun to be able to design and just give some ideas. And once you see it to come to fruition, something like this, and now something that you have, and I'm so happy that you have it. And it just really excites me and wants me to come up with more ideas. Actually, I just submitted a really cool idea. I hope it comes, which will be the same case design as that.
Mm.
That it's going to be all black, just all polished, Pro Diver Reserve, but it's going to have a fire opal dial, like
Oh,
the real
oh, oh,
vibrant red.
oh.
And I'm hoping we can get that one approved, because that one will absolutely just fly out of here. Now there is some that fire opal, but the one I want to use, it's just that black, little black specks, and then just that brilliant red, and
Mm.
just have that for the dial. I'll send you a photo of the ring after to
Oh
show
my
you like what
God.
I'm looking for. I mean, that would be awesome. I think that'd be cool too, like on a Man of War. It'd look really
Oh,
cool in that too.
whoo. Man,
Mhm.
quit playing, man. Quit playing. I absolutely love so like the Man of War, I love that design. Really love that design. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's cool. That's one of the things though. Man, I always want to know, like, how do you feel about that? Like, so when you do a show, right?
yeah.
You have a number of people watching you worldwide. Like, give me an idea. Like, what is your day like, man? When you start the show to like from the start to finish, how do
Yeah.
you feel about that?
Let me just say one thing before I go into what we do for the show, is it's so different because when you're in studio,
Hmm.
and now it's different when we're on the cruise and everything, but when you're in studio, you have you and your co-host, or you and the host, and then all the cameras are robotic now. There aren't people standing behind for the cameras, except for the jib. That's usually on the model shot that it kind of moves around. It's like a big arm with a camera on the end,
Hmm.
and someone's behind there, excuse me, maneuvering that, and our visual. And so there's like, two or three other people in the studio. But it hit me one day when I was walking through to the other side of the building where all the offices and cubes are. And you look in every single desk, there is a camera, or every single, or a cam or a television with the show on. It's like everybody is watching the show all the time, whether it's on mute or if the volume's on. And it really hit me like, holy crap, like all these people here are watching the show. And I don't know who they are, but they know who I am. And then I was just thinking, like, man, 91 million homes. And of course, we're just broadcasting, and a certain percentage of that, are people
Right.
that are watching, but still, it's pretty amazing to just think about like the scope out there when you're in a studio with only a couple of people, and you're touching all these different people, and they're watching
That's
you and
crazy.
listening to you. It's cool. It's just a dream job. To
Get
excuse
you something to drink, bro.
uh,
Go ahead and take you a
yeah,
drink, man. Yeah, get
maybe
you a
I
drink.
maybe I should pour a little. Maybe that'll help, huh? Just let me go get a glass. I'll be right back.
All right, so
Um, so before for a show, what
mhm.
we have to do is I usually try to get around 4 hours early,
Mhm.
and man, well, I know this stuff actually warms up the throat, so
Oh
maybe
yeah,
this
get you,
will
man. Hey, let's go
this will,
ahead
this
and
will work. All right, cheers, my friend.
cheers, my friend.
Mm,
Ooh, wifey, fix that up, man. That's boy.
mm, yeah.
Mm. I know wifey's watching. Thank you so much for the drink. This is amazing.
So the
Wonderful.
show, I get it hours before, try to get in around 4 hours, and go through all my cards. Actually, I print up everything online. There's a there's a website I go and I download the PDFs, and then I go and I alter the PDFs and make my notes and highlight different things, and do that all on my computer. And then we go and have a meeting an hour before the show, which is called pre-pro or pre-production. So it's the director, the producer, the host, and the visuals. And we just go over everything. What is it, what are the big hitters of the show? How do we want to present this? Should we think we're going to go to the monitor and everything else? And how we're going to position the show. So then we go back and get ready, makeup, wardrobe, and then go on then, after that hour, and then just hit the show. Now, there's still people out there, believe this or not. They think like we're news people and we read a teleprompter. And that's all we do is we just read like the anchor man. And it's not like that. It's not like that at all. There's a live monitor that's it's like on this rack. And then below is called a preview monitor. So you know what shot is going to become next. So if there's like a host shot and they're like, we're going to be coming to your wrist, Ryan, next. So then they show that on the monitor. So I know how to get my wrist in position or get it up, and they can get a camera fix on it. And then I know they're going to go to that shot. But then we have a third monitor, which I've sent you a photo of before, that really says item number 5. Travis from Indiana is on the phone and he can't wait to get on. Or, just a little note. And that's all we have. There's like it's all ad lib, just like what we're doing here tonight, except we're just talking about the features of the watch and what the benefits are of that watch, and try to have a little bit of fun back and forth, some camaraderie, and try to just involve the customer too as much as possible.
That's cool, man. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this. I saw it. What you just explained, I remember. You remember when we did the whole Apple thing on the cruise in 2020? You guys had me and a few other people up there. I saw those monitors, and I guess it was a director was like, "You on this?" He was pointing like, "You on this camera?" Because I was looking off to the side. He was like, "You on this camera?" I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So that's cool. How they now? I want to go back a little bit. No, way back. Whatever got you that's like in love with watches, man? Because you have a crazy knowledge of watches. What got you started just collecting watches in the first place?
Well, as it says on my bio, my profile, my dad's dad, when I was 8 years old, gave me his one of his pocket watches, and I have that watch still. It's in one of my watch boxes, and I don't know. I was always just fascinated from that, and even after that, like a couple of years later, I remember in elementary school, I had an Armatron watch. And it was kind of like a swatch almost, where it had these fun colors and everything. And like in our art class, we had to have some sort of object, and we took construction paper, and you had to make something look like the object you want. Like if it was this Macallan bottle, like I had to cut out the paper to make it look like the bottle, but it would say, Macallan or whiskey, but make it look like the bottle with the words. Right. So it would be, W would be like here, then I would make, so I made one that was watch, and I modeled it off of my Armatron that I had. And I think I have it somewhere, probably in a box, which would actually be really cool to see. I was actually really proud because I wasn't that good in art, but I was proud of that. And
you have to bring that up.
And ever since then, I've always had a watch on my wrist. It feels weird. Every now and then I'm running out the door to go do something and I don't have something on, and I actually feel like, it's an overstatement, but I feel like I'm naked if I don't have a watch on my wrist when I leave the house. Even when I'm in the house, I don't have something on. I just posted, I just sent you a photo. I was working on a new listing that we have in real estate, and the deck was just covered in ice. So I'm spraying it down with a hose. I'm, taking this tool to try to pop up the ice, but I still had on my watch, one of my rip saws. But like while I'm doing it, I just always need to just have something on, it feels like. And it's just been embedded in me. And I have even, I think my old Nautica watch from like when I was 20 years old, wore that every single day with a leather strap. And that leather strap probably looks hideous now, but just always have had it. And then just finding Invicta. And after I got that first pro diver, I was totally hooked.
Man. So Lady DG just said, I feel naked without going out with her watch. And I feel, what? I turn around. If I'm not too far away from the house, I will turn around. And I remember when I worked at Enterprise, I used to get up and rush so much to where I went to work one day and I got halfway there and I said, "Oh crap, I don't have my watch." Man, I was so
Yeah.
distraught, man. So I just started keeping a pro diver in my glove box just
Oh,
in
you
case.
did?
Oh
Just
yeah,
that's actually a good idea.
I kept.
Funny
Yeah, go ahead.
funny story was a number of years ago. Someone who I was dating just went over to her place and wasn't expecting. I think we were going to stay in, but we ended up going out to the Twins game, and I didn't have a watch, and I felt weird about it, but still, we went, and I went to go get a beer for us at the stand at the Twin Stadium, Target Field, and this guy comes up, and he's like, "Hey, Invicta Ryan, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing?" His name is Rob,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Hey, I watch you on the show all the time." He's like, "Where's your watch?" And I'm like, "Oh God,"
Uh,
like the one time, right?
uh,
So I felt so awkward and so uncomfortable. A week later, he calls into the show and he said, "Hey Ryan, it's Rob. I saw you at the Twins game, and you weren't wearing a watch. Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, you're killing me right now. You're killing me."
ooh, you would never
So,
live that down.
yep, exactly,
There's
exactly.
there's a few things that you've done in history that I thought was pretty funny. One was actually recently. You were doing a show and you were talking about and I don't collect those the crystals and glasses that you guys have, but there's something called like balls, low balls or something like that. And you said I have low balls.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
You
that
said
was
I have low balls.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is the low ball right here. The other
Right.
balls are down there. So I said it. I was like, you know, uh, you could hear me hesitate and try to recover from it. But there's
Oh my
actually,
gosh.
I don't know if it's still there, but I mean, you can if you take if you just watch if you have home shopping on, you're not watching, you just listen, and you can I'll just say it. You can take things like with the sexual innuendo. It's a
Yeah.
totally different show. I mean, if you just you could just like listen and just start laughing.
It
Um,
man.
but
That was hilarious because you guys were showcasing the Man of War. It was the blue face, like the Robin Egg blue Man of
yeah,
War. And you said I have low balls, and it was like
yeah,
this aqua balls, yeah,
yeah. And this
crystal
is one of them
glass.
right here. That's one of them.
I was cracking up. I
I
said,
just
just say that was funny.
yeah. But oh, that's what I was going to say is, I mean, there is a there used to be a log in the control room of things like that that hosts and guests said over the years. And I think they time stamped it and everything. They're like, "Oh my gosh, and Victor Ryan said this at, said, I have low balls. It was on this date at this time or whatever." Um, but now if something funny or silly or, stupid happens, it's so easy because I just go to YouTube and I do a screen record. I just hit back a little bit and do a screen record, and then I have it archived. Before you had to submit an email, and then they would actually burn the the whole show on a DVD for you and everything else. Now it's just so simple where you can just do everything. Or if I give somebody a shout out, I can do a screen record and then just text it to them after the show, and they're all excited. They can share it with their friends then. So, but yeah,
And you have they actually have a question, bro.
yeah.
So Victor 202, this is Fast and Trelease. Do you know if Shop HQ is going to open up the studio for Invicta collectors to watch the show live?
Yeah, great question. We were supposed to have a live studio audience like a year ago or so, and I thought the timing was actually bad because it was a January, and I think we should try to reschedule that and do it for like a summer month when it's nice here, and invite the collectors that can make it here to do that and have like a special thing to go along with it. Maybe like a some sort of event and plan for those who are here for the weekend and be a part of the studio audience and watch as we do that because they've done that for fashion before with the morning show on Saturdays. Wake Up in
Mhm.
Style, they did one of those. So I'll see if I can bring something like that up, and we would love to have those who can make it join. Yeah.
Okay, so we got called out on our watch check, and we didn't do a watch check. My
Okay.
apologies. I am wearing a Purple Label Grand Diver.
Okay.
And what you got on? Oh, you got the Ripsaw.
I got the Ripsaw, which is the khaki, and then
Ooh.
it's got the forged carbon dial on the inside.
You know, Joe. Uh-oh. Did we lose Ryan? I think we lost him. Hold up. Let me see. I think he just hit the camera. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, there was a phone call that came through, so I just hit cancel on it. So I can hear you now.
For our kids said he can give you some lessons, airbrushing and pinstriping. Okay. What was it? I think Kyle Jett had a question.
Ryan, on anything other than Invicta.
Oh, so Kyle asked, did you have any other watches than Invicta?
I do. I don't wear them. I got them a long time ago. I had some Renatos from when I was modeling and before Invicta.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had a couple beasts and wildebeests and everything. And actually, I gave them to my dad, and he has those. So, but
speaking
yeah.
of which, do you ever go? Does your dad go boating with you when you go out and do your thing?
With the performance stuff, no. He hasn't been out on that before. But growing up, though, I mean, we did a ton of boating together. We would. We grew up on a lake, and he was in the boating industry, and he's the one who taught me how to drive and boat and just all the safety procedures that go along with it and such. Every now and then, in the last few years, like if I was driving a cruise, he would come on that, and he. So we haven't boated for a while though together, but I would like to try to get out this summer with him.
That's cool, man. Now you know what? I'm curious about this, man. So with you got like this huge career, man. Like from modeling to doing Invicta, you're a boat captain.
Yeah.
Like, and then you are a family man.
Yeah.
Like you have kids in college and stuff like that, man. How do you balance that stuff, man?
It's you don't sleep. So,
oh my
I
gosh.
know. There's it's that's the one thing is I've always ever since I've been like 19 years old, I've just worked really, really hard. I've always had more than one job. And like when I was through college, I put myself through college because I had to do that. And if I needed a little bit of help at the end, I get a little bit of help, but I basically wanted to earn it myself. And I had a little boat cleaning business I had in the mornings. During the summers, I would drive a cruise during the daytime. And then in the evening, I'd park boats at a restaurant on the lake. And just, it was nice because I was getting multiple paychecks, but I worked so much that I didn't spend it either. And so I was able to, save up and pay for my own school and, graduate. And I just like that opportunity of just trying to, work hard. And so I do now the Invicta, obviously. I do real estate with Merit. And I used to work for Speed on the Water. I was national sales manager for this high performance boating magazine. So all the go fast boats. And we decided they needed somebody just a little bit more that could dedicate more time to it than me. So the guys are cool. I might still do a little side work for them in their classifieds, but we're going to talk about that in the next few weeks and just see, because I like to still be involved in that. I like to, unfortunately, I can't buy any of those boats, but I can still be in the industry and ride around and be around those kind of people. They're a really fun group to be around. So
my executive producer is trying to get my attention.
Hi, RJ.
Oh, Lord.
Awesome. I want to get a gift of that eye roll right there. That was amazing.
Listen, 85 people watching, y'all. Hit that thumbs up and let YouTube
hit that thumbs up.
They're watching.
Yeah, and if you are not connected to RJ, go down in my description page. If you just got here, I do have his Facebook as well as his Instagram. He is more active. I think you're more active on Instagram than anything else.
Yeah,
But
I am.
But I do have your Invicta Ryan page listed down there. And the one thing I wanted people to see, I mean, because we get to see, man, you are like, I saw how hard you work, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to watch TV in your phone or device, whatever you have, and look at the watches that you showcase. But I literally got to see how production works and how you work. Dude, your work ethic is crazy.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you.
I was going to do like I did this post like Ryan Johnson versus Invicta Ryan. Who would win in the battle? You know what I'm saying? Like who? Like which one? I mean, but I can't tell really based off of your like you put yourself through college. Like okay, no. So what did you take up in college?
So I have a business degree in marketing.
Marketing. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this the professor. He's not just RJ. He's the professor. Man, so like what type of advice would you if somebody was thinking about getting into marketing or something like that, or even your profession, like what advice or nuggets would you give people?
The thing is, what I believe is you have to work smart. You have to, dress the part too. You have to learn the part, act the part. You have to strive to overachieve the expectations, and just can't say no. I think that's the biggest thing is if you just it's like, no, I can't do that. That's not an option. You always have to figure something out. And I actually find joy in being challenged and figuring something out and not just throw my hands in the air and say, no, that's it. How to do, what do you do? It's a measly example, but before I jumped on the show here, we have a listing coming up and there's like 2.5 feet of snow on a deck here of this house, and then about like 4 inches of ice. And we have to get all this off in order to have the photos taken for the listing and everything. And so I'm just like, how am I going to do this? So I went over and started throwing snow off the roof with a shovel, got down to the ice. I'm spraying it with a hose to just try to get the water underneath it. And then I have this long bar and just like kind of prying it up and then hosing everything off. And I got it done before the show. Otherwise, when I went over there first, I was like, how am I going to do this? But you always got to just think like you got to get it done. You got to figure it out and just put on your creative hat and just try to use whatever resources you have and get the job done. That's a big thing of the advice is just don't give up. Just always at least try your best and try to make best of that situation or that challenge that's thrown in front of you.
Man, I appreciate that, man. We do have a tradition here. So anytime we get a super chat, I have to dance. So let's dance. So we got a super chat from
I love it.
From Ed, and he asked the crazy question. He said, "I have a question for Ryan. What does he think of Tudor watches?"
I think it's a good brand. I mean, there are a lot of great brands out there. Hold on 1 second. Do you want to bring Noma down? Yeah, just bring Noma down. Yeah, they want to see her on the show.
Now this is the treat. It's the treat. So since Noma's coming down, I have one of my most favorite Nomas, Sabako Noma 3.
Yeah.
Love this watch. Absolutely love this. Wait a minute. Did we just get another super chat? Oh, so no tradition, guys. I must dance. Okay, thank you so much for the super chat.
I think Tudor makes a great watch. There are a lot of companies out there that have great watches, and so Tudor is one of them. I think she's coming here. It just everybody's got their own niche. We have our own niche. All these other companies. Oh, there she is, right there. Noma, come here. Come here, puppy. Oh, come here. Come here. Come to daddy. Let's get you up here. Oh,
Wow. We got Noma. She's adorable. Look at her. Mm,
her ears are down right now because she's excited to see me. Otherwise, they're usually straight up.
wow. That is awesome, man. How old is
Yeah,
she now?
she's just over 6 months. So
6 months.
about 45, 50 pounds here. So she's a heavy puppy. Aren't you? Are you a heavy puppy? Oh, there are the ears.
Man, that's dope. I love that. Let me see.
Yeah.
I think somebody asked Nichols asked about any cruises coming up.
Yeah. Well, we have that cruise coming up in September. And um, I know you asked me about more information. I have to get more information on that cruise. So I think it's the 10th through the 16th of September. And it's on a Carnival cruise.
Hmm.
And you can, I can, well, you have all the information, Travis.
Yes, sir.
And I have to do a couple more posts with that too.
Yep.
So it looks like Noma wants to hog the screen here.
They tell me didn't catch that why they supposed to cancel the dance. Yo, super chat.
Oh,
Do you have another super chat?
Tell you to do another day. The cancel would be something else different.
okay. All right. I'll update the dance. I'll update that.
He'll update it when he get these 100 thumbs up. Thank y'all.
Well, you heard my executive producer. So
Yes, I heard her.
so you got beautiful puppy. Yes, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man, Noma that's awesome. And you know what's crazy is for those guys that don't know, Noma is actually one of the watch blinds, right? And I just showed you Sabaco Noma 3. I have the 4s, 5. I got one through 7.
I
And
don't I don't have two. That's the only one I don't have.
like where? Okay. Okay, maybe neighbors. Okay, give me just a second. Okay.
Yep. All good. All good. Let me see about the chat here. I haven't done this before. Oh, here, chat with everyone in the studio. Comments. Oh, wow. Here, I see everybody's comments right now. Lady DG says, hi, Noma. Vic Dickerson is here. Hey, Dickerson. Venom Kevin, Dale, Invicta Fever Joe here. Average Joe Watch Reviews, Jerry, Lady DG.
So that average Joe has an amazing channel. See, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something about I saw Information Man in here. I never take it for granted when another content creator comes into my show because it's just like you know, you have a lot of things going on. So if you have a chance to stop by and do something, I greatly appreciate it. I actually had Brian Johnson on here. It's been 2 years now.
Okay, BJ,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
been 2 years, and awesome guy. Man,
He's
I
great.
really, man, I love the guy, man. He's cool. You know, and that's the thing too, man. You guys seem so tight knit. There, and I can't say who. I don't like have a favorite. You know, you my
Yeah,
guy. But when it comes to everybody, I like everybody has something different. You know,
yeah.
Fatima, dude,
Mhm.
amazing person. Me and her had a conversation on Princess K's when we were the last cruise.
Yep.
Get you something to
Noma,
drink, bro.
come here. Yeah,
Hold on,
come here,
it's
Noma.
time. It's time to take a shot anyway.
Yeah. I'm just going to get a little bit more water. Hold on one
No,
second.
go right ahead. Go right ahead. Yeah. So anybody got any questions? Please put a watch in front of it. Okay. All right. I see Godfather. I'll put that up there so he can see it. So when he comes back, he can see that.
Oh,
I want to make sure I don't
here,
miss
here.
anybody's
I'll give her a little
questions.
bit of water, Mia. Hold on. I'll give her some, just a little bit. Okay, here. Let's. I'll give her some, Mia. Okay, hold on one second here. Let me go to more settings, camera. All right, back camera. All right. Noma, come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on over here. You want some water? Come on. Okay. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Wait. I'm just going to pour some water for her.
Somebody text me a question.
Okay. Wait. Wait.
The question is,
Free.
do you think,
Good girl.
did he think that it would blow up like this? Did RJ think this would blow up the way it has?
What? So is that the as far as Invicta is concerned?
Yeah, Invicta, yes.
Okay.
What is that, Travis?
So somebody, so my producer is actually on the road right now. She received I got her on the phone. She received a text message to ask you, did you ever think that Invicta will blow up the way it did?
So since I've been affiliated with Invicta, Invicta has been pretty big. I mean, even at the network when I first started, they were huge. So even back then, but now I think they've just gone to the next level, or we've gone to the next level, just, in terms of the collectors and going, I mean, you have 3,500 collectors come on a cruise with you to travel all from around the country and do that. The different groups that have blown up on social media, our distribution now in Europe and, Russia, Asia and everything, and South America. I mean, it's just crazy. And so I'm not surprised, I guess I could say that. And the thing is, AL is 3 steps ahead of everybody. And that's why I believe Invicta is where it's at. And, you just like, what I do, Justin does, everybody, you're throwing a challenge and you just got to figure it out and do it and exceed it. And I think it's just a big team effort, but it's led for sure by AL.
Okay. Godfather has a question on the screen for you. Hold up. Let me grab my glasses. Here, take your phone.
Yeah. And yes, Godfather, it is my favorite. And I take it neat. That's it. That's the only way to do it. Take it neat.
All right. Semi-con was like, "Oh snap, Ryan, take over the channel." Of course. Hey man, you know what? I think RJ can land. I mean, you throw him anywhere, he'll land on his feet. I believe that.
Oh, thank you.
The Toros is in here, man. I greatly appreciate everybody that's coming by. There were a lot of they love Noma. Everybody's like, she's
really?
cute. Yeah.
She's great.
Okay.
Just
Who is
so well behaved.
Say who all is going on the cruise, brothers? Well, I'll tell you what, Scott, I'm gonna be on that thing.
This guy will be there.
And you know what? This may sound crazy, but y'all know me. I've already picked out my watches for that cruise. I know it's ways out, but I've already picked out the watches that I'm bringing out. I have them in the case. So I'm not gonna ask you what your favorite, which I appreciate you doing that on Instagram. I did see that.
Yeah, the thing is, when I did that, it was like a 3-minute video, but I couldn't post it because I talked about every single watch. And from that, so I was like talking about like, this is, my first watch. This was the very first abalone shell in there and everything else. I mean, I could go through them. I still have the boxes if you wanted to see that, but and just talk about some of my favorites. But yeah, that was cool that you threw that out because it made me go through my watches, which I really, really enjoyed, and got to just kind of pick out some of my top 25. Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but I will say this because I don't work for Shop HQ. Some of the callers that you guys get has to be the craziest. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Some of them are so cringy, but like some of the calls, I'm like, wait a minute. You just ordered a watch and you don't know what you bought. And I'm gonna tell you something, the Invicta family, the loving group of people, but we know our watches. Yeah. I'm sorry, we know our watches. And if you call into the show and you say, I just bought that that one watch that has the date at the bottom It has something at the 3 o'clock. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And then that really didn't narrow things down for me. So even though I'm Invicta Ryan, I still don't know what watch you're talking about.
Man, dude, that.
But you talk about that. 2 calls do stick out in my brain just right off the top of my head from just weird calls.
Mhm.
One guy called once, and I don't know if it was true or he was just making it up, but he was just saying, "Yeah, it was like one of the late shows. Like, yeah, I'm just laying in bed right now watching the show. Have 3 of my watches on my chest." As it was just like, it was very awkward and weird. Like just trying to imagine someone doing that. But I was on the show with Daniel, and this lady called, and I don't know, maybe she was on hold, maybe she wasn't. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I picked up on this watch," and da 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 da. And then we heard the toilet flush.
Oh no!
Yeah. I'm just like thinking, lady, we didn't know you were on the can. Like, you don't need to flush. It's okay. Just let it, whatever it was, a number 1 or number 2, just let it go. Flush after the phone call.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. That's embarrassing.
Daniel and I were laughing so hard. It was just like, he like wrote to me, "Did she just flush the loo?" And I was like, "Yeah, she did."
So there was a question from the 757 area. Are there any
Yeah.
more Gen 2s coming?
Gen 2 Venoms.
Grand Diver.
Oh, Grand Diver, good question. Not that I've heard. I'd love to see some more though. I love the bezel on that. How that's raised up and we have the numbers off to the side. And also, like about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you have the numbers on the inside, the 6, the 9, and the 3 that are
Yep.
all profiled, which not many people know about.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually. Wow, tomorrow might be interesting for 4 hours on air with this cold
I'm
still.
seeing you do. You know what? I remember it was a Sunday, dude. You started like at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something on a Sunday, and you lasted into power play, which I'll tell you this, and I know it's not your decision, but I hate that they took away power play. Now I don't mind the amazing deals that you guys do, but power play for me back when it was Evine was the best leading up until when you guys went off, and then we went over to the YouTube channel, and it was so intimate. When you guys we're just doing what we're doing now without seeing each other, of course, but like chat and dude, I'm gonna tell you something. Jay-Z is he's funny, and he just says whatever comes to his mind, like he has no filter.
Yeah.
No filter. So how long have you've worked with him for what? Maybe 9 years, maybe?
It was Michael Davis. It was 2014. I think it was February. I remember I did a show with him that night. Can't remember. I think he was on, and then I went on and did the show after, vice versa. I don't remember. But then I got a phone call in the morning that said, I think it was April or May. It was April of 2014. That said Michael Davis resigned, and he resigned on Facebook. And it was, I'll just say it wouldn't have been the way that I would have
Right.
resigned. I would have gone to, my bosses and said, here's what's, where I'm at right now, or let's talk, or let's, but just not the way how I would have done it. So what happened was Jill came up to help with some shows, but usually you have about 40 to 45 hours a month on air. Remember that's broken up into segments, and you get there 4 hours before, hang out after, you have other meetings and stuff to do too. But I had 80 hours like that next month, I think in May, and that was, again, 24-hour live television. And there were a couple people that were up for the job, and Jay-Z was one of them. And I think it might have been June, July, August, sometime around there, that he came on board in 2014. So I was on just about 3 years prior. So I worked with Michael Davis for about 3 years before he left, and then Justin then took that role.
Okay. All right. There's a watch question from the Ferrari kid. It was reference to
Yep.
the Gladiator. Is it assembled in Switzerland?
The Swiss made, yes. That's one of the requirements for a watch to be Swiss made. It has to be assembled in Switzerland. The movement has to be put together in Switzerland, inside of the case. So things are assembled there in Switzerland.
Okay, all right. So I hope that answers your question, my friend. And you know what's crazy, bro? Again, I will go back to your impact, your legacy. Do you think you'll ever write a book about what you've experienced?
You know what? That's actually a great question. I've never been asked that or really kind of thought about it. But what I should do is just start journaling and then
Oh
have something together on that.
yeah,
So
I think that'll be crucial, man. I mean, because what people don't know is like, okay, you donate stuff to charities, and I know, man, you've had this conversation before, but the one when you had like a silent auction for a watch and stuff like that, man, that really, I always thought you were a cool guy. That for me pushed you over the top. You know, I was like, okay, I'm putting a watch to the side, and I started looking at you as a human being, and because it's so easy to look at you, you know, like any of you guys. You know, I don't care if it's
yeah,
Kendi, because I remember my first cruise, I met Kendi. I was like, this is actually Kendi, but we kind of immortalize you guys on TV, regardless if it's a movie. I
yeah,
don't care what it is. You're on daytime TV or nighttime or whatever, and I got a chance to kind of scale back and listen and talk to you, which I know our first interaction was you called me out on
yep,
shop and we did the push-ups on the thing. That was hilarious. But I'm a fan. I'm gonna say I'm a fan, and then it became a brotherhood, and like the TV stuff and all the watches that can go away when it comes to
mhm,
you. I look at you like I look at Vic or anybody. I mean, because right now, I call Godfather Mr. Fantastic. Deshaun Dickerson is in there. There's a lot of people in the chat right now that I consider family,
yeah,
and you're no different. You know, and that was one of the things I wanted people to see, man, was because like, dude, yeah, you do provide a service.
mhm,
Yeah, it's a watch. You know, I got this saying it all started with a watch, but this thing reaches millions of people, man. So I think that'll be proper for you to journal this whole thing, because you've impacted the world in some sort, you know. And I know this is AL's baby, his
yeah.
family. You know, I've talked to him about Invicta, but dude, you're the face. You literally you move this thing, man. You make these watches dance, man. Even and this is, man. You don't know how many times I'm like, I don't need another value pay, but doggone it, I feel like you reaching through my TV and you twisted my arm. You're like, buy it, but
Well, let me tell you,
so,
I do that to myself too.
oh my
Like
gosh.
I'm like, all right, I can do this value pay. I just get it myself. Yep. I mean, the deals are that good. I
You
sell
know,
myself in the show.
so there's a saying. It was from a song. Don't get high off your own supply, but I've seen some of your watches.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, you know, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna have to come help me and Vic. Gonna have to come to your house to help you size some of those watches.
Do you want to see the stash right now that you can help out with? Here.
Sure,
All right.
let's see this. Hey, y'all, I know y'all want to see the stash,
All right.
and
Well,
I
this
know
is
that
this
got
is this is give me 1 second. I'm just gonna run
okay.
upstairs, grab a briefcase, and then I have the others downstairs. Hold on.
Okay, that'll give me a chance to look, because I know there were some other questions. Are we going to see more Venom Vipers in the near future? Okay, I got you, Venom Kev. I want to make sure I don't want to miss. Why doesn't Invicta make pro divers without dates? More watches without dates would be great in general. Okay, Kyle, I got you. I got you. I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody's question. So I got Ferrari Kid. I think that was the last question. And we here. I'm gonna get it. So Kyle, let me put yours. I'm gonna label yours right now. So I hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you made it, if you're watching this on a replay, man, just hit that thumbs up, man. Leave a comment. And if there is a question, I can reach out to Ryan and see if we can get that answered, maybe on a
Okay.
future show or something like that.
Let's
Um,
see. Okay, here
While
I'll
you're
show.
opening that, Kyle was asking, why doesn't Invicta make pro divers without dates? What more watches without dates would be great in general.
So just like a three-hand movement with no date window.
Yeah, I know the 1953 does that, which
Mhm. Yeah, I
like
don't
this
know. I
one
think
here.
I think it's such a simple complication that a lot of people just don't know the date of the month. So I think it's something we commonly use, but uh, every now and then we'll cover it up with a grand diver if we have like a disc system
Hmm.
that goes along with that. So um, I can ask and see if there's a logic behind it or a reason why. Be happy to. All right, I got a briefcase here. Hold on one second. Let me see. I have to go to more settings, camera. Okay. So here's the briefcase. I have some in here, Travis. So
Ooh,
you have to bring your toolkit. I'm just going to go downstairs. Basement here.
I got plenty toolkits thanks to you.
All right. Let me see. So hit the light here.
Nice little layout, man.
Thank you. Yeah. We moved here back in May. Okay. So let's see. So here are some of the watches that you can help me size
Mm.
that I haven't had time to do yet. There's a meteorite
Yeah, I like that.
Hydromax.
I have one of those. I got that.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it sitting over here in
This
the
is
case.
cool. The sea base.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
No, that's why I got it. You know what you don't see? What you want to bring back right here.
Ooh,
Ocean Reef.
that's nice.
That's with that SW200 on the inside. See, I even have the tag on it.
Wow.
So then here we go.
Oh my gosh. All those need to be sized. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
All
have to.
these need to be sized. So I started moving from upstairs down here. Some of the things that need to be sized. I think I maybe have a few more over here. Yeah.
Sheesh.
And I think, yeah, a couple boxes in here.
When you said just a couple, bro.
Yeah.
We got a little arcade
So,
machine down there.
yeah, this thing is pretty cool. I treated myself a couple birthdays ago to this arcade, and it's got actually 5,000 games on it.
Wow.
So it's got like, Pac-Man, Super Mario Brothers, all those different games from Sonic, Mortal Kombat. And so Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is that's King Arthur right there. It's one
That's
of my
classic.
favorites.
Yep.
Yep. Ghosts and Goblins. And then the same thing over here. It's a pinball machine with it's all virtual, and it's got like a couple hundred games on it.
Mm,
So I do like video games, but I don't get a chance to play as often as I would like. But I'll change the camera back here.
that's a lot of space right there, man. That's nice, man. It's like a little party room right there.
Yeah, trying to turn that into um, a bit of a bit of a party room, like maybe a high top here and stuff like that.
Right, right.
Um,
Tanya had a question. She asked, will there be more leather straps offered in the future? She tried to avoid the silicone.
is there any special watch that she'd like to have with a strap on it?
Yeah, Tanya, go ahead and ask that question. Like, which watches would you like to see it on?
Yeah, I mean, we'll always have leather straps, but something that's really cool, which I like, is silicone with the leather stitching that goes over.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that. Venom Kev asks, are there going to be any Venom Vipers in the near future anymore?
Yeah. Not that I've been aware of. Not that I've been aware of, but I can always put in the request for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, Kevin, text me what your ideas are.
Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate all the new people that just popped in. I want to make sure I didn't miss. If you have any questions, okay, thanks. Wifey, man, wifey is actually, man, that's crazy. She's driving, picking up one of the kids, man, and she's still working, doing her thing, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Tamika.
Hey, come on, Lee said, forget AL's vault, Ryan's vault. So let me ask you, outside of your watch, of course, your creation, what outside let's take Pro Diver because we know you like the Pro Diver. If you didn't know, guys, he loves Pro Diver.
Yeah.
What would be your top 5 a go-to? And you can any event, what's your top 5?
I have to say, I love the ripsaws right now. The ripsaws are amazing.
I got this one because of you. Because you is your fault. I got this one because of you.
Yep, that's right. I was upstairs in my little watch room, and I was showing you that. I do like the ripsaws. I do like what was the other one I just had at the top of mind? Chaos.
Ooh.
Chaos. I have a few of those. Love them. We actually did a Venom Generation 3 on top for a bezel.
Yeah, I remember
on the Chaos, and I wish I would have got 1 or 2 of those. That was amazing. Sub Aqua Noma 3. Bolt Zeus.
Okay.
Like, it was such a big deal when we came out with that over 10 years ago. It was actually December of 2011, and that watch, that watch just was incredible. It was such a big deal.
This is what he's talking about, y'all.
Yep.
But I got the trio.
That's hot. Yeah.
You know, I called this the Lido deck killer, man, because when the first cruise I went on, I think all of the big name collectors had one of these. If it wasn't a trio, it was something like they had the Edda movement, you know, which I know that's coming. I saw it, and I saw it on the group page. They got the 7750s coming back and the Eddas.
Yes,
Waiting on
there's that's going to be a little bit later this summer.
Ooh, okay.
So there's going to be some 7750s coming up. So I was told that. I don't know exactly what is going to be for sure in there, but there will be some 7750s and hopefully some 2824s.
Lady DG said, "Can Invicta bring the lipstick back?" Which I definitely agree with that. That was a sexy watch.
Yeah, with the diamonds.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I can see. Oh yeah, okay. So Kyle said, "I see that Ryan doesn't feel the greatest. Thanks for pushing through for all of us today." Again, and I'm not gonna keep you much longer than this, bro. Honestly, because I know you have a show tomorrow, and it's been a long time coming. And, you know, I'm not one to push, man. You know, I'll send out a gentle invite, but I know that you're busy, man. Like, you have so much going on, real estate, boating, Invicta shows, dude. And you ever get a chance to be like a mentor to people at the shop?
You know, here's the thing is, well, I've trained in a few people over time. You know, Carl most recently, Francisco when I was down in Florida. And there was one other. Who was it that I trained in? I trained in one other. I'm just trying to think who it was off the top of my head. It was a long time ago. But you know, just like at the network, there's a lot. There are people of all different ages at the network there, and you know, just like I think just as like a mentor, there's some people that I've just made some really good befriended there, and there's some people that I see that at the network that work really hard. And And I've actually said, if you ever need a reference, I'd be happy to give one for
Sweet,
you. And
sweet.
there is one in particular visual. Um, he actually ended up going out to LA, and he wanted to get into special school out there. And so I wrote a letter to the admissions or whatever, and they actually called me, and he's thriving, and he's got into the school and everything, and I'm really proud of him. I'd love to see him at some point again. So, but he's kind of locked down in California right now. But there's another person more recently. I said I'd love to be a reference, and she got a second job outside of the network, and it was with TV also. And they called me. I was more than happy to just give her flying colors in terms of
Mm,
being a reference. And while I'm at the network, I try to just get to know everybody's name, because in a sense, like with my job, everybody knows who you are, or most
right.
people. And it's all the other people there that you see on the broadcasting side that, make me look good and make me look professional. And, just, and I always try to thank everybody and say, hey, you did a great job in the show tonight, and try to get to know everybody's name too. I think it's really important. I've seen other people there who just say, I need this, I need that. And learn from way in the beginning, like, I'm not going to be one of those people. So I want to
I
be,
think you're pretty
just,
legit, bro. You
yeah.
think I ain't gonna say I think you are pretty legit, man, and it shows because um even looking at tonight, on a regular live, I'll probably have maybe 20 to 25 people on a regular live, which is fine, but it's always great, man. That's a testament to who you are and what you've done. And you've touched a lot of lives through a watch. There's actually, and I'll get him on here to let him tell the story. There's one collector that talks about how Invicta saved his life. Me and him talk. Um, and I give you guys a hint, Watchmen 54. That's a story that you guys have to hear. And RJ, I would love for you to hear that story.
I would love
Um,
to.
and
Yeah.
I try to on a regular basis, not too much. I don't like to bombard your phone with text and stuff like that, man. But there's every once in a while I'll send you a message like, hey, this is what people are saying about, their experience
Yeah.
with you in shop and stuff like that. And you're the reason why. So like even down to Godfather, I'm gonna put both of your questions in there as one. He wants to know about more mechanical watches, but also having that 7750 in a pocket watch. Is that possible?
I think we've been doing more mechanical watches lately. We've explored we've explored out to some different movements, and I have a number of those movements, that 4612 and also the 2031, the Z2031 we've been using more. Um, and the 7750 is really fun that we're going to bring that back.
Mhm.
I don't know what we're going to put that in for sure, but I know Glenn loves the pocket watches. So, and I think he's asked for that before. So I will see. And I think he asked for a tourbillon in there too one time.
Ooh, that would be awesome. That
Yeah.
would be awesome.
So I'll meet with, I'll talk with you too, because I didn't get the chance to take notes from the suggestions tonight. So I do
Okay, yeah, yeah,
legitimately,
yeah,
we'll touch base
yeah,
afterwards. And I
yeah.
want to get everybody's suggestions, like the leather straps and the lipstick and everything else, just so I can present those ideas to the watch team and see if we can get that in production for everybody.
And what I'll do is take notes of and guys, I forgive me if I missed any questions because we're gonna wrap up here. I know Tanya put out any new SAS reserve pieces coming out. And I don't know, like 52 and 46 millimeter. And I don't know if she wants that on leather, but I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm trying to think that 44, 46 millimeter, I think we've only done that on bracelets. I could be mistaken, but it'd be cool to have one of those on a leather strap.
Oh yeah, yeah. What question did I miss?
Demicon said, when they going to RJ, when y'all gonna have track on the show?
Oh,
What's that?
she asked when I was. Oh, well, Semicon asked when I was gonna be on the show on Shop.
Oh, yes. Well, whenever you come on out.
Now I did get DK, I can tell
You
you
have to
this.
size my watches too.
Yeah, that too. I got an email, so I'll let you guys know. Talk to the producer. And Vic chimes in. He says he's waiting for that Magnum Heritage, which never came out.
Yeah. Ooh, dang.
That's your fault too. That is your fault. Your fault is a lot in this house, man.
I know. And I take all the responsibility.
Oh, Bob says you need Eileen's chicken soup. It's the best medicine.
Really? Bob, I'll give you my address after the show.
I'm willing to. Oh, Watchman 54 is in there. He said he's willing to talk about it. So you guys be looking out for that. So we're
Okay.
gonna wrap up here, man. I do want to say this, RJ, friend to friend, bro. This has been a beautiful journey. My saying holds true. It all started with a watch. That's what really got me connected with you and the team. And again, Fatima, Kendi, and let me see, did I miss something?
Go ahead.
Oh, and everybody else, you guys have made this journey, man, amazing, man. But it comes back to you because I've talked to you more. I've actually, if I had to give a body count of how many watches I've purchased because of you, oh my gosh. Dude, like it's bad. And then hers as well.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's Bull. Oh, that was a thing too, man. I wish Bulldog TV. Is it ever coming back? Are they ever going to have a chat room on Bulldog? I don't think they are. They still doing Bulldog stuff?
They're still streaming different shows on there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was one.
I heard an idea which is actually pretty intelligent. Because it's so different with the network as compared to other networks because Invicta, we're the biggest vendor there, the juggernaut.
Right.
And it's a more of a male dominant category. There are more male collectors than females. There's a lot of female collectors, but on a percentage basis, they're more men.
Right.
So when you go from like a show like, Mackenzie Childs to Invicta, there's a turn because not everybody who, is, more of a Mackenzie Childs, it's more of a female audience is going to stay and watch Invicta. Same thing with Invicta, going back to Mackenzie Childs or whatever it is. A lot aren't going to go, stay on and watch that. But what's kind of interesting is if someone had an idea where, what if it was just Shop HQ for all those products, but then it just kind of turned over to Shop Bulldog for like with the Invicta show, or if it was something else, and just kind of have a little bit of a differentiation of that.
Yeah, I think that'd be. Yeah, honestly, because I really liked Bulldog, and I told Brian Johnson I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like about it was that face they had on the wall. It was scary. It was
What
scary.
face is that?
It was some lady's lips or something. It was a lady that looked. She was green or something. She looked weird, man. She looked like a specter or something. I was like, oh no, I couldn't watch it. I told him, I said that vexed me, man. I had a dream about it. I was like, nope. Anytime they showed that, I turned my head. I'm like, that thing looks scary. It's like from The Exorcist. But let me see. Lady DG said, "We love you, RJ." I can hear her screaming that. Which I'm gonna tell you something. I know you went down to Godfather's house.
Yeah,
that's another house you need to go to. I always crack jokes about them being like the Wakanda house, But dude, it is such a loving environment. You would enjoy yourself. Oh my gosh,
loved
man.
it.
Like she could cook. That girl. Yeah. So yeah, we love to have you. Now we got the cruise coming up. I get a chance to, we can do some stuff. And I did tell people that I was gonna keep them in tune with. When I get information, I'll put it out.
I'll get more information and give it to you. Yeah.
Okay. Jay Jones, he said his last words is thank you, Ryan and Trap, for being the biggest enablers.
You're welcome.
So and this is a photo of us 2019.
Yes. Love it.
Beautiful, beautiful time, man. RJ, man, I appreciate you being a friend, man. A source. Like I said, I could put the watches down, and you still like one of the greatest people that I've met on this planet. I tell you that.
Mm.
You know, Jen Vic too. I tell Jen Vic that all the time, man. Like you guys
Yeah, she's
bring
great.
such, like, I don't know, man. Like you draw us in. You draw us in. Like you tell a story. It's like you telling your life through these watches. Yeah, you presenting it, man, but you guys do it like none other, man. They should be giving you guys awards. I know they used to do the award thing, but you guys need to get an
Mhm.
award, man. Real
Yeah.
talk.
Well,
So,
you can go ahead and suggest it. I'll take that award then.
hey,
So,
most definitely, most definitely. Now, before we cut out, is there anything you want to give the people? Anything? Always end on a positive note. So if there's any words of kindness that you want to share with the people, of encouragement or
well,
anything like that,
yeah.
this is your time.
Well, I just genuinely appreciate every single person that is part of the Invicta family, whether you're just buying that first watch or that 10th watch, 100th watch, or that 1000th watch. And, one of the key aspects and one of my favorite things is stuff like this, Travis, where I get to connect with the customer. And beyond that, the friend, the customers out there, just like you. And I couldn't ask for a better opportunity in my life for a job to be able to be in this position where I can meet so many fantastic people out there and just be a resource and make some really good friends out of that. I mean, and I genuinely appreciate you just as a great friend of mine. And even just like you just randomly text me and just say, have a blessed day. And that just makes my day for me. And you're so kind and genuine, and yeah, your lovely wife too. You guys are just inspiring for me to even just be a better person by me being friends with you two and seeing everything you guys do and all the goodness you do. It makes me want to do even more. So that's just do good things to others is maybe how I'll end tonight, and
Okay,
go
man.
from there.
Well, I greatly appreciate it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find Ryan RJ. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on Facebook, but mostly on Instagram. You can go down in my link and you'll find it, right? And you'll also find a very funny video from back in the day. And you know what? If you type in Victor Ryan in the Google search, as far as YouTube, you can find some of his old videos where he teaches you
Yeah,
how to change straps and batteries and all kind of stuff.
yeah.
And you'll see his hair. That's
My
all I'll
long hair, which
say.
I'm trying to grow it out again. Trying to grow it out a little bit.
Oh yeah. Lastly, I think you were on with Lynn Shocker, 2018 cruise. I think it was 20. That was our first cruise when they were playing the Rockaway song, and there was a very explicit word that was used during that, and you laughed.
Yes, yes.
Lynn Shocker was
Was horrified.
completely thrown off. She was like,
Yeah.
oh.
We closed out the night. It was at 10 o'clock when the DJ started. Yep. I remember that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That
Good
was
times.
awesome. That
Good
was awesome.
times, man.
Tell Christopher Knight where you can find out
Hey,
about the cruise.
So Christopher Knight, the cruise, if you go on Instagram, you will find it's the Reserve Maryland group, and you will find that. Follow me on Instagram. You can go on my description page and you'll find it. You'll find it there. I have a story with RJ on there as well. He's tagged in it. So it's definitely
Yeah.
a spot you want to do. But other than that, before we go, thank you again, my friend, for
Well,
agreeing to this.
thank you
I
for
do
having
hope
me.
you get some rest tonight, lodgings,
Yeah.
whatever you got to do. You've done enough talking. We've been on for an hour and a half. So
And
I
it flew
greatly
by.
appreciate it, man. You are a trooper, man. One of my heroes, man. Thank you so much, man. Family, this has been another Trap Vision production, and I have the infamous, my brother, RJ versus Ryan Johnson. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. You already know what it is. I see you, Humes Empire.
All right.
You keep going. So until the meantime, you guys be blessed.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
Much love to